Trump signals cutting China tariffs substantially if trade deal reached. President Donald Trump said he plans to be very nice to China in any trade talks and that tariffs will drop if the two countries can reach a deal. A sign he may be backing down from his tough stance on Beijing amid market volatility. It will come down substantially, but it won't be zero, Trump said Tuesday in Washington, following earlier comments from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent that the standoff was unsustainable. Trump added that we are going to be very nice and they are going to be very nice, and we will see what happens. Trump also said he didn't see the need to say he would play hardball with Chinese leader Xi Jinping and that during discussions he wouldn't raise COVID 19, an issue that is very politically sensitive in Beijing. The White House recently launched a website that suggested the virus came from a lab in China, irking the nation's diplomats. Trump's comments came as US stocks and treasuries have been battered since he rolled out sweeping tariffs on April 2nd, later announcing a 90-day reprieve for most nations. The 145% duties Trump has placed on Chinese shipments this year remain in place, though he's made exceptions for computers and popular consumer electronics. Trump is panicking due to the markets plummeting and still very high US Treasury yields, said Alicia Garcia Herrero, Chief Asia Pacific Economist at Natixis. He needs a deal and quick. China does not need to offer anything big in such circumstances. China hasn't officially responded to Trump's pledge to play nice, but the media outlet Kailian called it a sign that Trump is already softening stance on his signature tariff policies. Trump chickening out was among the top trending topics on China's Weibo social media website on Wednesday. Chinese stocks traded in Hong Kong rose to an optimism that tensions with the US may soften. The Hang Seng China Enterprises Index was up 2.1% as of 11:56 a.m. in the financial hub, while the offshore yuan strengthened to 7.2994 versus the dollar. Beijing had indicated earlier this month that it wants to see a number of steps from the Trump administration before agreeing to any discussions, especially reining in despairing remarks by members of his cabinet. Beijing had earlier expressed displeasure with comments Vice President J.D. Vance made about Chinese peasants, with one diplomat calling them ignorant and disrespectful. Besant told a closed-door investor summit that the world's two largest economies will have to find ways to de-escalate, which would come in the near future. Besant also said that it was not the U.S. goal to decouple from China, according to people who attended the session. Still, the Treasury chief said a comprehensive deal could take 2 to 3 years. He also reiterated his view that China has stifled its consumer economy and favored manufacturing at the US expense, saying that any agreement would require a rebalancing of trade that allowed the US to increase manufacturing. Negotiations with China over such a deal have not started yet, he said. In recent days, Beijing has sent People's Bank of China Governor Pan Gongchen, Deputy Governor Suan Changyang, and Financial Minister Lan Fuan to Washington, which this week will host meetings of the World Bank Group and International Monetary Fund that could create an opening for top Chinese and American officials to exchange views and open the door to trade talks. Also, one key member to the Chinese team that will negotiate with the Trump administration was likely to put in place last week, when Li Chenggang was appointed Vice Commerce Minister and Trade Envoy. Henry Wang Huayo, founder of the Center for China and Globalization Research Group in Beijing, said Lee's appointment showed China is ready to talk. He added that Trump's latest comments signaled a more reasonable tone. I am sure this would get a response from China. So hopefully we will have a stabilizing cooling period, and we can continue our relationship as normal as possible with President Trump, Wang said. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone. Bye.